Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Patam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhattarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः बुकारो अन्धकारो वैरुकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानै स्थिरचरनिकरव्याप्तिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पुनरभिदिशनोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् सविधिमधुरभुङ्मायया भोजयन्नः मायासंज्ञास्तुरीयम् परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विदिजविषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् सुमिति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरभिशनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः. We are studying Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad along with the kārikā, and we are in the third section, Advaita Prakaranam. First section was named by Gaudapada Acharya is Agama Prakaranam, which deal with the verses of Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad itself. Agama means Shruti, scriptures, Upanishad, etc. So the verses are being emphasized and analyzed and explained by his own words. Then the second is Vaithatya Prakaranam. We already finished. Vaithatya Prakaranam is talking about the error which happened to be other than taken by the human being than what they are. An error, vithatha, in an opposite way, or misunderstanding, or a mistake. Anything you can say on that vithatha, other than what it is. So in the vithatha, he emphasized that erroneous notion about oneself is the cause Okay. So we are in the third section and in the third verse. I already mentioned you The third section is called Agama Advaita Prakaranam. Advaitam means non-duality. This section will be dealing with logic and by understanding the unity, understanding the oneness of Atman and Jiva by logic. Third verse, and I'll give you the Bhashya which we have to continue. Atma hi akashavat jivaihi gadakashairibodhitaha gadadivachcha sankataihi jatau yetat nitarshanam. Atma hi akashavat jivaihi gadakashairibodhitaha gadadivachcha sankataihi jatau yetat nitarshanam. A famous illustration, an example which is common, which is universal, which is familiar for the human mind, is given to get the oneness between the human who is individual soul and the all-pervading cosmic soul or the Brahman. How can we understand both are one and the same? Here he gives a nidarshana, an illustration, an example. All pervading Brahma is just like the space which is all pervading in the creation. Atma hi agashavad. The space goes everywhere. It is all pervading. And also, jivaihi gadakashai ribodhitaha. Suppose there is a pot. Inside the pot, there will be a space and it is called pot space. Due to the belly of the pot and the neck of the pot, the space seems to be limited and space seems to be separate from the cosmic space, all-pervading space. This is how one should take oneself when they consider I am an individual. The Atma, the Brahman, which is all-pervading, is also pervading in and through, outside and inside of every individual, every animal, every other species, every insentient things, and also whatever we can perceive like stars, planets, etc., etc., and whatever we can't perceive with our human eyes like bacteria, amoeba, atom, everything is being pervaded by this one and only Brahman, like the space is pervading in everything in the creation. So, Gadadi Vacha Sankhataihi Jatau Etat Nitarshanam. Gadadivad, just as a pot, Gadadivad Cha Sankhadehi. Sanghadam, intelligently put together or having parts in oneself is called Sanghadam. A group of things coming together is called Sanghadam. Whatever we see here in the world are having parts. So Gada is also having parts. Bottom, belly, neck, and also top. All these parts constitute a pot, and inside the pot there is a space. And this space is called pot space, which seems to be separate from the all-pervading space. That is not true. Because of the pot, it seems to be separate. Actually, there is no separation between the pot space and the all-pervading space. This is what to be understood properly. That is what here it is told. In similar with the pot, one should understand in the body, mind, sense complex, the Atman is pervading. Even though it is all pervading, it seems to be limited when it appears through a body. Sankhadam, any body which is having parts is called Sankhadam. So in a Sankhadam, in a body, it seems to be separate, it seems to be limited. Even though it seems to be limited, it is not limited, it is unlimited, like the pot space and the all pervading space are not two but one and the same. Because of the pot, it seems to be there is a pot space, but it is not true. The all pervading space is also pervaded inside the pot. So one should understand properly when we see a lot of things in the creation, lot of individuals, lot of human beings, a lot of birds, a lot of animals, a lot of things, trees, stars, everything, metals, all the Pancha Mahabhutani, five elements, everything seems to be different from one another, but it is only due to the misunderstanding or not knowing properly. That is why Upanishad appears into the picture. Upanishad come and says that it is only Sarupa aparityakena rupantara apatti. Without changing one's own intrinsic nature, it appears many in the creation. Actually, there is no such difference or there is no such different things in the world. One and only thing appearing in different names and forms. This is to be understood from the verse. Now we will go to the Bhashya to continue. Tasmat eva agashad gadadayaha sangadaha yatha utpadyante. Therefore, tasmat, indeed, from the all-pervading space, gadadayaha sangadaha, when the pots are being originated, pot maker makes different pots. In every pot, there will be different space. When it is a big pot, there will be a big space inside the belly of that pot. When it is a small pot, Puja Swamiji used to keep one or two pots to illustrate the idea for the class. Very small pot. When it is very small pot, the space will be very small. Similarly, in the creation, we see ants, we see termites, we see beetles, we see some other insects which are very small, even flies, they are very small. But when we compare with the elephant is very big. And when we compare the elephant with the big blue whale in the sea, ocean, it is very, very big. Whether it is a very big creature in the creation, whether it is a small creature in the creation, The Atman is one and the same in and through all creatures. Tasmadeva, even though there is an origination of creation, seems to be a lot of creatures in the creation. Gadadayaha. Gada represents a individual soul or an individual living being who is having different parts, body parts like legs, ears, eyes, and mouth, teeth, lungs. Different things are there. All these things are nothing but an illusion only. As I told you in the last class, the white screen is the real, but the names and forms appearing in the white screen due to the projection are unreal. It seems to be real for a length of time, what we call movie. But when the movie finishes, we again see only the white screen inside the theater. Similarly, our television, that screen only real. What all the things which we see inside that TV are unreal. Similarly, all the names and forms which we see in this world, it includes father, mother, my husband, my children, my job, my vehicle, my body, beautiful body, my chapels, my ear gold ring. All these things are unreal from the standpoint of ultimate reality. They represents Gada, a pot appearing in the creation. Every creature, all the creatures are mere illusion, which we know that the creation never allow you to see the reality. Creation always make you fascinate to go along with the creation. That is why it is called Maya or illusion, magic of a magician. Anybody who is going along with the creation is not going to find the reality in their life. Somebody who turn away from the creation and comes to traditional teacher with all kinds of commitment and sincerity and shraddha on him, total belief on him, whatever he say is for my safe and security in my life. Then the person realizes the reality. That person understand that I am only a pot space. Really, I am not a pot space. I am the all-pervading space. But because it is all-pervading, it is also there inside the body. That's all. So, tasmadeva agashad, from the space, all the pot spaces are being created, originated. Yatha utpadyante, just as they are getting originated, as though, evam, in this manner, akashasthaniyat paratmanaha पृथिव्यादि भूत संगाताः आध्यात्मिकाश्च कार्यकारणलक्षणाः रज्जुसर्पवद् विकल्पिताः जायन्ते. Just as the pot space in every pot, from the all pervading space, all the pots are having space which are not divided, which are not separated, one and single space appearing in different pot spaces. When we understand the illustration, example properly, come to the reality, come to know what is to be understood. Evam, in this manner, agashasthaniyat, as like the agasha being all pervading, in the same manner, paramatmanaha, the ultimate reality, what is called Brahman, is also all pervading. Prathivyadi Bhuta Sangataha. From this, from this Brahman, which is eternal, pure consciousness, without changing its own nature, the Brahman appears into five elements. Prathivyadi, earth, etc. Bhuta Sangada, Bhuta elements, which are having parts. Adhyatmikascha, Adhyatmikascha. Different things in the form of creations, names and forms. Karyakarana Lakshana. Karyam, body. Karanam, instruments in the body like ear, nose, tongue. Karyakarana Lakshana. The names and forms which are having different parts and different organs, they also seems to be originated from the five elements, which are also originated from the Paramatman, the ultimate reality, without changing one's own intrinsic nature. The ultimate reality seems to be five elements, appears to be five elements, and these five elements contributing all other names and forms. They come together in different compound and different things are there in the creation. Metals are there, trees are there, body is there, another creatures also there, stars are there, everything. All are nothing but different compounds of the five elements, which are nothing but the all-pervading Brahman appearing as though five elements without changing its one's own nature. What is the nature? Eternal, which is Satyam, consciousness, which is Jnanam, Anantam, unlimited. Pure consciousness, which is eternal, which is unlimited, which is having the nature of happiness. Anandam eva tatsvarupam. So, Bhuta Sangadaha, Adhyatmikascha, Karyakarana Lakshanaha, all came out of this one and only Brahman. First it came the Akasha. We already saw in the last class in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasmad va etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutaha. From the eternal consciousness, without changing its intrinsic nature of the consciousness, the space first came out. Without changing the nature of the eternal consciousness, from the space, Vayu, the vital force, came out. Similarly, step by step, everything came out as though the creation is going on. There is no such creation. That is why he gives Rajju Sarpavadu. A rope is misunderstood as a snake as long as when we don't realize there is a rope for the superimposition of the snake. Rajju Sarpavadu. We are all started our life considering ourselves as a body, and that body has a parents, thus that body has mother and father. So we are all having different names and forms around us, and also we are also a name and form, correct? Thus, we consider ourselves a limited life form right in the beginning. This is what is called Sarpa, an illusionary snake. A name and form seems to be original or real as long as we are not taught about the reality. But after Coming towards a traditional teacher, due to one's own blessings, due to one's own good deeds, one will meet the right person in order to know the reality. No other way. Our own good deeds, our own activities without expecting any results in the world, always being a donor more than a consumer in the world, will make the person more mature to reach under the realm of a guru. Thus, at last, one will come to the realm of a traditional teacher. That traditional teacher will make you recognize you are the one and only immortal Brahman. Thus, one will come to know I am the Brahman. Rajju sarpavadu vikalpitaha jayante. As long as we are not known about our reality, we consider there is a snake on the rope, so too there is a creation going on all around me, and I am also a body. As long as we don't know the reality, then ataha uchyate gadadivaccha sankadaihi utitaha iti. Therefore, it is told here, gadadivadu, as the pot space originated from the all-pervading space due to the production of a pot. Sangadehi uditaha iti. In a body, there is an origination of an individual soul. We can say as long as we don't know the reality. Once we come to know the reality, there is no origination, there is no elimination or destruction of the individual soul. Because there is no such individual soul, there is only a seeming name and form which is not real. It comes and goes as the bubbles appearing in the water comes to a point of time and end at a point of time. Similarly, all the names and forms seems to be appearing, but in reality, there is no such names and forms appearing in real. We only should understand the names and forms are just a superimposition, and if you put an inquiry whether it is real or not, it will disappear. Therefore, it is told according to the every pot, there is a pot space, and also according to one's own name and form, there is an individual soul originated. It is told as though it is originated. Yada mandabuddhi pradipādita ishaya shrutya atmanaha jadihi uchyate. Mandabuddhi. There are always three different group of people in the world who can grasp easily a subject matter. They are called the prime people, Uttam Adhikari, the topmost people who can grasp the knowledge, who can understand the knowledge properly. They are called Uttam Adhikari. They should be considered as the top level qualified people. They understand within one or two explanation of a matter. There are another group of people, if you explain for them 5 or 6 times, they will also grasp the idea. There's another group of people, they need example, they need time. You need to explain at least 6 or 7 times with an example. Then only they can grasp the entire idea. Most of the people in the world, from the standpoint of eternal reality, they belong to the third group. They need illustration. They need to be explained 10 or 11 times, still the idea will be pending. They will not grasp the whole idea. For them only, it is told here, Mandha Buddhi Pradipadita Ishaya. Having the desire to make understand the Manda Buddhi, a dull wit in the world. Even the person who is coming to Shastra can stay without understanding what is told by Shastra as it is, by the scriptures as it is, because they will be thinking about their children, they will be thinking about their husband, wife, health issues, situations, or upcoming events. All these things maybe take away their mind. Then they will be confused, or they will only understand partially from the first explanation. They need more and more explanation for the clarity. Tam manda buddhi pradipadita ishaya. In order to make understand, having the desire to make understand all the Dalvits who are coming to the Shastra, Shruti, Shrutya, by the Shruti, Atmanaha Jatihi Uchyade. Formally, it is told there is a birth for the individual soul. In reality, there is no birth for the individual soul, but for the sake of understanding, even for a dull wit, we permit the birth of an individual soul. After that, we make them understand there is no death and birth in real when you come to know the all-pervading Atman. But it takes time. For that, first step will be there is a birth for the individual soul to make them understand. We go along with them according to their thoughts. That is what is told here. Yada, just as Manda Buddhi Pratipadita Ishaya. In order to make understand the dull wits who are in the third class in understanding in a matter, by the Shuddhi, Shrutya, Atmanaha Jatihi Uchyade. The birth of the individual soul is being told by the Shruti, or the birth of the Brahman is told by the Shruti. Jivadinam tada. All the individual souls have birth. In the first step, Shruti also says. That is why Shruti also told in the Taittiriya Upanishad, all the five elements are born from the ultimate Brahman. Even though there is no death and birth, it seems to be, Shruti itself says that there is a death and a birth for the elements also. And what are the things which are originated from the five elements also have death and birth. First of all, the Shruti also permit our own thinking. After that, Shruti itself negate there is no death and birth, because it is called systematic understanding, in a meticulous way, order by order. When we come to know the entire vision, when it is clear, we ourselves negate the death and birth of an individual. So, jatihi jivatma, jivadinam, for like that, tada jatau upagamya manayam etat nidarshanam drishtantaha. For the sake of making understanding, there is an example given here. Yatha uditaha agashavad ityadi. Just as a pot space is born, even though there is no birth and death for the pot space, There seems to be a pot space is born when the pot is created by the pot maker. Shruti also accept for the sake of making understanding the dull wit students. Then he can understand there is a pot space which is constructed, which is being produced when the pot is produced. In reality, there is no birth and there is no death for the pot space. Similarly, when we get the birth, it seems to be there is a birth of a female. It seems to be there is a birth of a male. In real, something already existing comes into the name and form, and which is also unreal, the name and form, the something which is existing is the only reality. We will know that by studying continuously for a length of time. But when we get a birth, as a parent, I also take there is a birth of a boy in my family. There is a birth of a girl in my family. But when we come to the guru, the traditional teacher, and he makes me understand that something already existing, which is all pervading, right now pervading in an individual body. It is a female, it is a male. That's all. So here it should be understand that tada, just as jadau upagamya manayam, if we consider as the birth of an individual soul, etat nidarshanam drishtantaha. This illustration is enough to make understand an ordinary person yada udita agashavad ityadi. Just as a pot space is born like that. This is the whole bhashya. Now come to the next verse. Gadadishu pralineshu gadakashadayo yatha आकाशे संप्रलीयन्ते तद्वज्जीवा इहात्मनि. Again, गडादिषु प्रलीनेषु गडाकाशादयो यथा आकाशे संप्रलीयन्ते तद्वज्जीवा इहात्मनि. गडादिषु प्रलीनेषु. Whatever is in the creation in the form of name and in the form of a shape of a body. Oh, for example, name and form. For the name and form in Sanskrit, it is called Nama Rupe, a name, and according to that name, there is a form. Nama and Rupa, any name and form, is subject to destruction after a period of time. Some are having very big longevity or lifespan, some are having only short lifespan. When you have short lifespan, when you have long lifespan, nothing matter. You have to give up the body. You know, people consider that by doing yoga, we will get a long lifespan. It is true, but it is only a benefit which is subsidiary. The primary benefit of a yoga is a disciplined mind, a focused mind, a real body which can concentrate on the subject matter even though it is very deep. Yoga will make the person to focus on certain things for a length of time. This is the primary benefit of yoga. All other benefits are secondary, having a lifespan. So don't do yoga for lifespan, for a length of life. What we are going to do after having 100 years here suffering. So we need yoga. We need all kinds of exercises in order to make a fit body and in order to make a strong mind which can go deep and deep in a subject matter. That should be the primary concern while doing yoga. Even Patanjali considered yoga as a means for the knowing of knowledge. Tad drishtuhu surupe avasthanam. Focusing on one's own intrinsic nature is the primary concern of yoga, he says in his sutra. So, what I want to say, having a big lifespan is not a matter, having a short lifespan is not a matter. Adi Shankara only lived in this creation only 32 years. His works are almost, we need 1,000 years in order to understand it properly. Swami Vivekananda lived in this world only 40 years. Before seeing a grey hair, he departed from the world. But his works are profound and many, which we need at least 200 to 300 lifespan years in this creation in order to understand each and every sentence and book. Now I will come to the point. Gadadishu, Pralineshu, when the pots get distracted in its own respected time, Gadakashadayo yatha, the pot space will also get resolved in the all-pervading space. It is a formal way of talking to an ordinary person, correct? I will make you explain. When the pots get distracted in the time, the pot space will also get resolved in the all-pervading space. Akashe sampraliyante. All the individual souls also like that. Tadvat jiva iha atmani. When the body departs from the world, and that body already realized about oneself that I am the Atman, that Atman, that individual will not take any birth again. It gets resolved in the all-pervading space. Tadvat jiva iha atmani. First of all, one should know that there is no separation between the pot space and the all-pervading space. When there is a real separation, there is a real unity between them. They come together when there is a destruction of a pot. What is the point of making a statement that they get united after the destruction of pot when they are not really separated? This is the trick to make understand, When one consider oneself as I am an individual soul, from that standpoint of thinking, make one understand that when you give up the body, you will get resolved with the all-pervading consciousness. The individual consciousness will get resolved in the all-pervading consciousness when the body departs from the world, when the body gets distracted. Don't be fear of when the body gets distracted. Each and every second, our body is getting distracted. We are fetching a new body every second. That is why we grow. So, it is not a one-time distraction. Every second, we are getting distracted by our body. So, here, body means a name and form which is superimposed on the reality. Body should be taken as the snake superimposed on the rope, which rope should be taken as the Atman. So one need to understand properly, when the body gets distracted, the individual soul resolved into the all-pervading soul is a statement for an ordinary person who already considered oneself as a separate soul. For the knowers of Brahman, there is no separation, there is no unity or coming together. I want to make you sure that this verse can make you confused. Because there is a division between the all-pervading consciousness and the individual soul, this statement is clear. When the parts get distracted, the individual space will resolve into the all-pervading space. But for the discriminative people, for the wise men, while living, they came to know the reality by the knowledge of Brahman from the traditional teachers. They came to know that there is no division between the individual soul and the all-pervading soul, so that there is no coming together of an individual soul getting resolved into the all-pervading soul. Tadvat jivaha iha atmani. For the sake of understanding for the ordinary people who are in the third section, in the third group, this verse is quoted by Gaudapada Acharya. We will see the Bhashya line. Yatha gadadi utpatya gadakasha utpattihi. Yada, just as when a pot is produced, through that production, gadakasha utpatti, a pot space is also constructed, produced. Yathava gadadi pralaye gadakashadi pralayaha. When the pot gets distracted in course of time or somehow it is broken, then gadakashadi pralayaha. Then what will happen? The gadakasha, the pot space will also get united with the all-pervading space. This is how we consider I should reach Brahman after doing or after giving up the body. Hey, we are oneself, we are Brahman right now itself, and the body is a superimposed phenomenon. What is the point of reaching Brahman after death? Tadvad, same like that. Dehadi sankhada utpatya. After gaining the body and all the parts in the body, getting an origination of body in this creation, jiva utpattihi, an individual soul is born, an ordinary person considers, and also tat pralaye, after the destruction of this body, jiva, jivan, jivanam iha atmani pralaya. For all the individual souls, there will be a resolution. They will be getting resolved in the Atman. Na swataha ityartha. This is the key word in this bhashya. Make it underline. Not real. Na swataha ityartha. Because when it is appearing as an individual pot and pot space, which is seems to be separated from the all-pervading space, that time itself it is one and the same only space. There is no division between pot space and the all-pervading space. Same, in the same manner, even while we are appearing as a male or a female or a star or a tree or a mountain, etc., etc., we are not separate each other. We are not away from or we are not divided from the all-pervading consciousness. The all-pervading consciousness itself appearing as though name and form or different creatures. So there is no division in real. But when you consider there is a division, we have to resolve that they get united after the destruction of the body. For the wise, for the Viveki, there is no division, so there is no unity also. There is no reunion also, according to this verse. We will look into the next verse in the next class. Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः। पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी। देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः। ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः। सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः। सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु। मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय। तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय। मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।